the attitudes in the news, it's chock full today. The stabbing in Pittsburgh at the school, at the high school near Pittsburgh, Marysville, I think, which is near Pittsburgh. Young man, I guess it's 20 kids stabbed, but 4, really seriously injured. One being stabbed in the head. They say they will try him as an adult. And you have to stop to think, will we ever be able to get to these kids before they get to our kids? Will we ever be able to get to them? I'm a person that believes that it does take a village. And I believe that it takes, if you're a neighbor and you see a kid that's kind of like not all the way there, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but you can look at a child, especially me having raised kids and had kids in and out of my home, our home, my husband and I, you can see a trend. And I think what we've done is, going back to what we said, is that we have just turned this blind eye. He's different, it's okay. He likes being by himself. Well, yeah, he pulled the wings off the little bird. We see those things and we make excuses. And then these excuses, they end up with, these kids because of an incident today. How do we blame kids, but it starts somewhere. I'm going to say that. I'm going to be the devil's advocate because it starts somewhere. I know the mistakes that I made as a mom. I did. I can honestly sit here. I have a hard time cutting apron strings. And I know that some of the mistakes that I made. But we've got to, we've got to start saying, and look at our kids and say, look, I made this mistake. I did this wrong. I don't come with a handbook being a parent. It didn't come with a handbook. People say, well, yeah, it comes with a handbook, the Bible. No. And I'm a religious person. I believe in religion, and I'm steadfast Christian woman, but I don't believe that is the bottom line. I believe that, we've got to get more involved with our kids. We've got to know their friends. We've got to know what they're typing on inboxes, and we've got to know who's communicating with them on social media. We've got to know that.
Lisa, do you agree?
I totally agree. Staying informed and being the parent, not the friend that's so popular today, but actually being the wise one, the one that's gone through all of that, and sticking to your guns, even when you turn aside over what you're doing, and while they're crying, you have to do it. In the long run, it pays off. It saves the life. Like Donna was saying, it saves someone's life if you stop it early and you cut it early.
And I actually think it's what we allow our children and what society allows the children to see on television. Because the stabbing in Pittsburgh of the 20 students, and our heart goes out to them and their families, wasn't the only stabbing incident today. There was an office stabbing incident in Toronto where several people were stabbed as well. Now, on Monday night, I've been watching a show called The Following. And on Monday night, the followers of a cult leader, who's an actor I love from Rome. He's a great actor, and that's the reason I started watching this show called The Following. But he's a serial killer, basically, and he has this following of people, and he teaches them to go out and kill. And guess what? They go out, and the other day, they were out stabbing people at a fraternity and in restaurants. And I immediately, when I saw the 2 reports about Pittsburgh and Toronto today, I immediately thought about that show, because on Monday night, they specifically went into a frat house and killed everybody with a knife. Everybody in that frat house was killed with a knife. And I thought, oh my goodness, it was just like I just watched that on TV, and now it just happened, and it's real in the news. So did those kids, the man and the employee and the student, did they see that show?
I know.
Were they playing out that fantasy? Did they want to be this guy's follower? I
It's
mean, I'm not sure I'm going to watch this show again because it just kind of freaked me out. I want, lots of people say, oh, there's no connection. People are responsible for their own actions. But I think when children whose brains haven't developed yet, and psychologists can tell you that, but, it's a known fact. Our brains don't develop until we're a certain age, like 21 or something. And I just think that, we're really playing with fire when we show them these behaviors on television, because I do think they go out and mimic them. It's like a little boy with, a sword or a gun or something. He's going to go out and play cowboys and Indians because he's just watched a Western. And he doesn't know that it's pretend. He doesn't know the difference between reality and make-believe.
Well, I agree with that 100%. And, a lot of people get out, say to me, my son doesn't play any violent video games. Absolutely does not play. He's too young to play those games. He doesn't have a clear view of the reality of what he's doing. I don't allow that. I don't. When he's older and he uses his money, and if he buys a game with his money, so that will tell you how long that will be, because those games are like $58 a pop, $60 a pop, and he doesn't have that much allowance. But you know what I mean? It's what we bring into our home. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to go back onto that. I mean, yes, they can see it out there. I can't protect them out there, but I can give them the tools here that they can use when they're out there. No one expects for their child to go to school and get stabbed in the head. No, we don't expect that. But what we should do, what we should expect of ourselves at home, is to have these open conversations with our children. We have to teach our children. We have to teach our children to just like what you said, Siobhan, a show called Followers, and they're following this guy kill people. Come on.
Yeah.
We have to teach our children how to choose friends wisely. We have to choose our kid. We have to teach our kids. We have to pick our own friends as adults wisely, and what we watch and what we bring into the home, and who we sponsor, who we donate money to. All that, it starts at home.
In conversations, yeah.
In conversations, you're right. I believe so, because, I referred to a person earlier before we started this segment, Attitude in the News, and I was talking about how he hasn't been charged. He got off these very serious charges of first-degree murder or something. I don't know exactly the charges, but he was the driver of a car, and his friend was on the roof car surfing. Car surfing. I had never even heard of that, and I did some wild things, like drive really fast down a back road when I was 16, and go up over a bump, and I thought that was just, oh wow, that's just wild. But I cannot believe that young men, maybe even young women, are getting up on the roof of a car and surfing without any kind of protection. It's not like they're strapped in and practicing to be stunt people with professional stunt people training them or something like that. No, they're getting up on the roof of the car, and somebody is getting in that car and driving really fast on a back road. It doesn't even matter what kind of road it is. And this young guy who was surfing, car surfing, is dead today. He is dead, and his friend who was driving the car is not responsible?
Wow. He is. Reckless endangerment, yes.
Yeah, but he got off.
But we're teaching reckless endangerment. If you go back to the movie Back to the Future with Michael J. Fox, he's car surfing. He's car surfing on a Volkswagen van. He's car surfing. This goes back, and I told you when we talked earlier, it's not about anything but our children are getting that attention. They're seeing things that they like. They get that attention. And somewhere along the line, and I'm not just going to blame us, somewhere along the line, we're missing a connection with our kids because there's so many distractions.
There's so many.
We're missing a connection. You're coming to the table with a phone. My son grabs his phone. He's 10, and he's grabbing a cell phone, and he's playing all these games, and he's isolated. They're isolated. They're in a corner playing a game. They're distracted. They're very much distracted on the real world around them. And so common sense will tell you and I, the three of us, not to get on top of a roof of a car while it's moving. We know that. But when you're seeing it on TV, you're seeing it on YouTube, you're seeing it at your fingertips, you're going to do it. Kids nowadays, they don't think that it could happen to them, and they're going to do it.
Well, it's no longer Back to the Future, ladies and gentlemen. It is Back to Basics. And Aiden and Addie are going to help you with the help of our guest author, Lisa Roberts. Her first book, Back to the Basics with Aiden and Addie, Leadership with Abraham Lincoln, is available now on Amazon. You can find her at Aiden and Andy. Addie.com. Oh my goodness. Go to our Facebook page, The Attitude Shift, and I've got the link there. And I want to say thank you very much to Lisa for joining us. And Donna, it is now time to put it in park. Any last words, Lisa, before I turn the wheel over to Donna completely?
Both on, and I agree with everything that we've discussed tonight. And I hope the book series helps parents and children get back to the basics of being a responsible individual. Yeah.
That's awesome. And that's what we need. We do. We need to take that responsibility. We need to get back to basics. I love that. I love how you're saying get back to basics. That's what we need to do. Siobhan, am I issuing any citations tonight?
Yes, you are. It is time to put the virtual red Corvette in park for the week so that we can roll down the highway of life for another 7 days until we meet again. So issue your parking citation so everybody can go and pay it.
Yeah, I'm going to issue citations to parents and kids tonight. You know, I'm going to say it's a mutual thing. You know, we've got to do our part as parents, and we've got to learn how to take the electronics, turn the television off, sit down at the table and have dinner together with your kids. Ask your kids how their day was, and then tell your kids how your day was. Start a conversation with your children. I am citing everyone tonight. Those that don't do it, do it. If you do it, continue to do it. And you know what? Post that on Facebook. Every Monday I post what we do is our family night. I post every Monday what we do as a family. We made our family banner a couple weeks ago and hung it on our door. And it isn't about trying to one up or look like I'm the super mom, because you know what? I am a work in progress. I have 2 kids left, and I'm working to try to make not the same mistakes I made with the other ones. So citations to everyone, even myself, and hopefully next week we can do a recap, and we hope to see some of your stories on Facebook. As always, it's been a blast. It's been a short time, but it's sweet. We did what we could do. We hope we've shifted some attitudes. Go check out our Facebook page so you can check out that book, because I'm going to do that. Trust that. You're going to get me to check your book out. And I want to thank everybody that, y'all comment about, I said y'all. You comment, you love us on Facebook, and you love the Attitude Shift. And that is the momentum that we need to kick through the rest of the week and back here next week. And so until we meet again, Donna M. Butler, Siobhan Shaw, keep shifting. Peace out.